Mark Wahlberg said that it was worth giving up a part in the Oceans movies with George Clooney because, as he put it, the second one sucked and he didn't want to sit around with everyone else saying how great everybody was. So finally, someone is saying something about George Clooney here.
Yeah, and it's the guy who just starred in The Happening, the worst fucking movie. I guarantee you, years from now, people will bring up to you guys about The Happening be the worst fucking movie ever. I got emails from people going that they were wondering the same thing as me if it was a parody film. Did you saw it, Franklin?
Yeah, I unfortunately saw it this weekend, and I've never seen a film where it looked like every actor didn't want to be there.
Mark Wahlberg's, I'll just call them line readings. I won't call them acting.
Exactly.
They were fucking line reads.
Mm-hmm. His opening scene when he's a teacher and he's trying to inspire the children was one of the most embarrassing things that I ever saw. Like, Gina actually started mimicking the lines that he was saying, and I'm just sitting there in shock, just like, what is wrong with this?
I thought the opening scene where, for some reason, the girl was wearing a steel fucking blade in her hair that made it easy for her to stab herself in the neck with was the stupidest thing I ever saw.
Unbelievable.
And little did I know, that would be the least stupidest thing for the next hour and a half.
That first killing scene was like the best thing in the movie. The rest of it was, at least it was a little artistic. Even the camera movement a little bit.
I thought the cinematography was awful in that.
The whole thing was terrible. I mean, I think that was just the high point of the film. And I wanted to really like the movie. You know, like I was disappointed by The Village. I was confused by Lady in the Water. But I thought the guy
Lady in the what?
The water.
In the water.
She's in the water.
The lady's in the water. In the water.
But I wanted to like it, and the guy just really disappointed me. It feels like he didn't go far
M. Night, your film, Lady in the Water.
Water.
What are you doing in the water?
I mean, it's got to be his last chance now, right? I mean, they say that every time.
No, it made a lot of money. Made like $30 million over the weekend, yeah.
Wow.
He's one of the few fucking guys that people show up because of the director. Very few directors can get away with that. You know, Jon Favreau had a huge fucking movie with this Iron Man.
Right.
They're talking about not even bringing him back because it doesn't matter that it's a Jon Favreau fucking film. But in this M. Night Shyamalan, he's like the modern Hitchcock where he is a brand.
Right.
So it's almost like when Chevy Chase would have flop after flop, people would still show up to see a Chevy Chase movie. I mean, how many people do people show up for the movie? They show up if it's Spielberg.
Yeah.
They probably show up
maybe Spike Lee
to a smaller extent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never had the kind of success. You know, they might show up to Scorsese to a smaller extent than M. Night Shyamalan.
Right.
M. Night Shyamalan's had bigger movies than these guys.
And Tarantino, I think, is his own brand.
Yeah.
He is, but again, much smaller than M. Night Shyamalan. Tarantino's only had one film that made over $100 million. Pulp Fiction.
Right.
I know.
And nobody showed up for the last fucking thing that he did.
Right. The Grindhouse was a huge failure.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, this M. Night Shyamalan, no real fucking stars, terrible movie, $30 million fucking dollars first weekend.
Well, you're still remembering, you know, The Sixth Sense. So that's why you're going to M. Night Shyamalan movies, for that same feeling.
But I mean, you can say the same thing about, you know, how much Die Hard, how Bruce Willis, that got him through a lot of shitty fucking movies. Here's Carl, you're on Fez. Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had friends go and watch that movie, The Happening, just because they've heard it so bad, they've just got to see it.
I've recommended it to people on that level. I recommend it to Frank.
Oh, yeah.
I go, you've got to see.
It can't be that bad. It surely can't be that bad. They've got to see it for themselves.
It's absolutely a perfect storm of shit. It's coming in from acting, directing, writing, cinematography, and it all comes together to dump shit on Philadelphia and the surrounding Pennsylvania landscape.
I honestly went to see how bad you were exaggerating.
No.
And it was unbelievable that it was exactly what you said.
It looks like a parody of like a 1960s bad sci-fi straight to the drive-in type movie. The acting and the dialogue is so bad. There's amazing things like they're running away from the trees, right? Because the trees are out to get us. And they're running into the forest to get away from the trees.
Through grass.
Everything, nothing makes sense. At a point, Well, you see it in the trailer. By the way, the guy does make great trailers. That's all he should do is make trailers for himself. But you know the scene where they just stop the train and make everyone get off. Why? We're cut off. From who? Everyone, right? Seconds later, everyone's taking cell phone calls. I'm talking to Trenton. At no time does the government, the president, nobody gets involved to help the Northeast during this, what they think at first is a terrorist attack. Nothing even makes fucking sense.
Not at all.
And it's like about an hour and a half into the movie, the girl is yelling, "What is happening?" You know what is happening. You know? You know what is fucking happening. Now, the other stunning thing is Mark Wahlberg. I've never saw he's the hero of the movie.
Right.
He doesn't come up with what is happening. Some guy does this off the top of his head. Here's what I think it is, and he's right. No, Mark Wahlberg doesn't come up with like an idea. Here's what we should do. He literally cries and tells people, "Stop asking me questions.
I need a moment. Let me think." Dude, the child in this movie was the most neglected child that I've ever seen in any film. Every scene was this child walking around about to die. And I'm like...
Including Oliver?
They wouldn't care. At least Oliver had some focus.
Ron, you're on Red Fez.
Cameron Crowe, director. He's his own brand.
Who's that?
Cameron Crowe.
Cameron Crowe probably is also, but to a lesser extent than the people that we brought up.
Yeah. Much smaller than that. I mean, Woody Allen is a brand. I'm not even sure if Cameron Crowe is. You know, it's a Cameron Crowe film, but is he big enough to be a brand?
I don't think here's the difference. Do your parents and your little niece know who he is?
No.
Well, they will know who M. Night is. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
They will know who Spielberg is.
Yeah.
They'll know who Woody Allen is. Although Woody Allen films don't make money either.
No, I know that, but I mean, people still know. You know, it's a Woody Allen film,
right?
Not a Cameron Crowe film like Elizabethtown. I don't know.
I feel like all M. Night's movies would make great little children's stories for about 5 minutes, and then he extended them for 3 hours.
I think if you wanted to punish your children. Yeah. Well, everyone always says that he is like the Twilight Zone, where these things should be a half an hour
They should be
on TV.